All right, good morning, everybody. This is Ned over My Philippine Dreams, N to the E to the D over at MPD. Today is October 11th, 2018. It is a Thursday, and we got a little bit of something to report on. Again, the purpose of this channel, if there is a purpose, is to try to pass on information to people that haven't been here, to people that maybe haven't traveled to other places, and give them some sort of appreciation of some of the unique dangers that are here in the Philippines. This story, and there's going to be some things we're going to talk about at the end of it, but basically this has to do with maintaining your privacy and your personal safety and your security. Basically, it comes down to not letting strangers into your home, or even when you're traveling, especially in some parts of the world, you don't even be wanting to let people know your personal information. You don't want them to know where you live. You don't want to give them the opportunity, because there are some bad players, there's some bad people out there to take advantage of certain situations. Also, keep in mind that the Philippines is a fiscally challenged nation. Filipinos are rich in spirit, but don't forget that millions of them live in poverty. Also, keep in mind that there is a little bit of a drug problem here in the Philippines, and also there's prostitution. And when you combine the two, you got prostitution, drug use, and stuff like that. Usually results in opportunistic crime, sometimes with very serious results. Finally, keep in mind that for some reason, and I haven't figured out quite why yet, they don't like to leave witnesses. If something happens, they tend to kill the person who's the witness or who saw something. It could be from either fear of conviction. They also got this thing called salvage here, where they have fear of retaliation. Like if somebody, a family member, can identify who did something, they'll retaliate against the other family. Or also something, maybe even bigger than that, that's inherent here into the cultural zeitgeist of the Philippines. We've talked about amor proprio, hiya, shame, and all that stuff before. So let's get down into the brass tacks, and we'll briefly revisit those topics at the end of this. Police are searching for two women who have been identified as persons of interest after a 69-year-old U.S. Navy veteran was found bludgeoned to death inside his Olongapo home. Now, when this first came out, everybody in the forums and all the information groups, they thought it was a foreigner, but come to find out he's actually Filipino-American. Sonny Almazan was apparently beaten to death with a golf club, which was found with bloodstains inside his bedroom yesterday on Monday, October 8th. This is now Thursday, so this story's a little bit old. Investigators have today said that two unidentified women are being treated as persons of interest. Almazan's driver, here in the Philippines, middle class, upper class people, they tend to have drivers, which are like chauffeurs, because they're inexpensive to hire. Almazan's driver told police that his boss had directed him to pick up two women at about 9 p.m. on Sunday night. The driver departed in the victim's Toyota Fortuner, which is a nice truck, picked up the two women from Calacan Gate at the outskirts of the Freeport, and returned to the house. Now, this area, I believe, it's in Subic, Olongapo. You further it down, it's on the old. There's all these little housing divisions, subdivisions on the old military base. So they picked up. The driver went out to one of the gates entering to the area and picked them up. After they arrived, the driver was asked to leave Almazan alone with the pair at about 10 p.m. The following morning, the driver turned up for work, entering Almazan's house through the front door that he found unlocked. Once inside, the driver noticed bloodstains on the floor leading to Almazan's bedroom. An Olongapo police report noted when he saw more bloodstains on the floor and walls inside the bedroom, he reportedly sought the help of neighbors to contact the police for assistance. Closed-circuit TV, CCTV footage at the housing area, reviewed by investigators, supported the driver's testimony. Investigators who arrived at the scene found Almazan slumped in a sitting position on the floor, besides an overturned computer. He was naked from the waist down and covered in blood. Investigators observed bloody footprints on the bedroom floor, a golf club, and a metal cane with bloodstains, and some broken spirit bottles. The victim's mobile telephone and sling bag, believed to contain cash, were also missing. Freeport Chairman Wilma T. Eisma said In light of this, we console with the family of the victim and commit the assistance of regional law enforcement to help in the investigation by the Morong Police Office so that the perpetrators of this crime might be arrested and put to justice. At this time, investigations are continuing. So again, when this first came out, it's even in the news they were noting that it was a foreigner. But come to find out, he's a Filipino-American. It looks like he was born in the Philippines, speaks very fluent Tagalog, then did a 20-year stint with the United States Navy, gaining him citizenship there also. Returned to the Philippines, and he was also a newspaper publisher involved in a number of different businesses up in that area. So he was a mover and shaker, 69 years old, but he was still going at it, and investigations are continuing. So again, as people who, if you haven't been here before, or you've been here for a short period of time, you got to be careful. You know, there are dangers out there. Not letting strangers into your home, not letting people know where you live. In some cases, not even giving your real name or anything like that. If a guy comes up to you and says, "Hey, sir, I was your driver to your hotel," or "I worked at your hotel," or stuff, and they try to engage in conversation, you know, just let it go, let it fly. The Philippines is a developing nation. People here are fiscally challenged. You got some prostitution going on, you got some drugs, and with that, you got opportunistic crime. And again, this whole idea that they don't, for some reason, they don't like to leave witnesses here. And I think it's got something to do with the retaliation, the salvage, fear of conviction again, and just that whole national zeitgeist they got when it comes to more proprio. Shame and all that stuff. Maybe they think, and I'm not a psychologist and I don't even actually know what I'm talking about, but maybe there's something where if the person's dead, they won't experience the shame or something. I'm not sure, but I've seen on more than a few occasions where there's been rather innocuous crime like a burglary, and the perpetrator then ends up stabbing the victim to death. That actually happened to somebody that I knew personally here down in Darwin. All right, so again, the purpose of this is try to relay information and to talk about how things can affect foreigners living in the Philippines. Consolation to the family. It's got to be tough. I don't know if he had any kids or not. I'm not sure. I didn't really peruse his Facebook too much, but this is a sad situation. Stay out of trouble, and I'll see you next time on my Philippine Dreams. We're actually going to be doing a spaghetti fest this weekend, and we got some other stuff coming up. Take care.